Whew, hey y'all. This is AL Think Madame. Look, I'm laughing because I have gotten to like a certain part in this newest episode, which is episode 2 of She's Gotta Have It, right? And y'all excuse the noise, y'all. I don't even. I'm gonna get into that later on if I feel up to it because I'm tired of my spirit. But anyway, y'all, excuse my eyebrows and excuse this, y'all. I put some on my head, so y'all see something looking crazy, just know I'm trying to just slick these edges down a little bit. But anyway, look, the way this episode started off, it was so cute. It has Nola and it has Opal's daughter. I think she said her name is Skylar. They are at Coney Island and they are on all these rides. They look like they're having so much fun, and I'm here for it, right, y'all? But then out of nowhere, they end up going to the next scene and they show Opal and Nola walking and talking, and they're going to a nursery, an actual nursery that is for plants. So they're at a plant nursery. That's what I should have said to begin with. I'm sorry. But anyway, they're at this plant nursery in Fort Greene. As you remember the first episode, it's talking about Fort Greene. But they're walking and talking, and Opal is in her feelings yet again because her daughter came to her and was talking about how she is excited to have 2 mommies. And so she does not want that to be the narrative, because she's like, look, I birthed her and I pushed her out, and she has a father who is not around. So I do all this stuff for her. I put her through this expensive school. I keep clothes on her back. I do all these things. I need her to understand that she only has one mother because she's the one who birthed her or whatever. So she was like, you look, do you understand what I'm saying or whatever? So she was like, yeah, I'll, talk to her about it. So then Nola wanted to talk to her about how she feels about art and how she wishes that she could just do art all the time and be able to get a good coin for it, and not really have to do other things that doesn't equate to the way that things go for her when she's doing art or whatever, y'all. So I was like, girl, you know what I'm saying? She was talking about, she's, having feelings about her father, getting older and all that good stuff. And, her girlfriend was like, girl, I don't really think you got nothing to worry about when it comes to that. But she, she's really serious about that. And that's how I feel too. Even though my father's retired, he went back into working, even though he doesn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of those people who does not like to stay still. Like, I'll be shocked if he's not up doing something today, even though today is a holiday and most people are gonna be grilling and popping off fireworks and all this other stuff, even though they don't know what the meaning of today actually means, which is something that irritates me how people do. But anyway, that's not what this is about today. But yeah, she's worried about her dad, which she rightfully should be, because that's just the way things go. Our parents get older, hopefully, if you are blessed enough to have parents that live for you to see them grow old. But yeah, she and her feelings about her daddy, and like I said, she wants to be able to do things the way she likes to do them without having to, conform to certain standards. She ended up having girl time with various women who she's normally, around whenever they do meet up, and they went out for drinks and, it looked like nightlife type of situation. And drinks look delicious, by the way. They look very refreshing, y'all, because look, I had to get me another one of my little mocktails, and it's almost gone. This is my last one. I went and bought one more the other day. I'm sorry. Y'all, look, off topic for 1 second about these dang mocktails, right? I told y'all they were really good, and they were 88 cents on sale, right? I left the house like 4 hours after they opened. I meant to leave like maybe an hour after they opened at the absolute latest, y'all. I kept lounging around, taking my time. When I finally left, y'all, I asked the lady because I went and found some that were in a different area, and I was like, well, the price on here says $175. I came in yesterday and got 2 of them, and it said 88 cents. So, you know, are y'all out of them, or will it ring up the price I wanted to ring up? And she was like, oh no, you know, that's the right price that's on there. Those were just going to be, you know, the dates on them or whatever. And y'all, them dates were like months out, and I mean, and they taste exactly the same as this one right here that I'm drinking right now, that is set to be, and that's the thing that killed me, but it be benefiting me. It'll say best by date. Look, this says best by date August 19, August, sometime in the middle of August. The other one was like July or something, or the end of June. Y'all, I'm like, shoot, I'm about to drink all these now. Shoot, June ain't even gonna get here by the time I'm gonna drink them at the absolute latest. Y'all, I'm mad because it was like 10 of them, 6 to 10, and I got 2 of them. And I went back, I asked that woman, she was like, well, there was a woman who came here not too long ago. That woman just walked out with them, y'all. Just. That's how close I was to getting them. Because I kept looking on the end cap, I ain't see them no more. Whatever, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get back into that because that made me so mad. But that was my fault because I didn't leave earlier. And I wasn't about to go back out because it was rush hour traffic by the time I left Friday from up there. So I didn't want to go back up there. I was like, well, I'll just chance it on Saturday and see what happened. But anyway. Okay, y'all. So she ended up going to this park where she met up with Papa. And y'all know that from the first season that he was the guy who seemed like he was super duper crazy and all that. And they were arresting him because he was not here for the gentrification and all that stuff. So he was always defacing certain things, and he had gotten arrested a few times, but this time he had gotten arrested and detained for a longer period of time. So he has been released, and she's seeing him and she's talking to him, and while they were in the midst of talking, he was just, you know, just like, you know, how's my beautiful black queen doing? And, you know, she responded and she asked him how was he doing, and he said maintaining. And she said, you know, I'm feeling about the same way. And so then, you know, he realized, he was like, did you call me Papa? And so she was like, yes. And so he said that he goes by Divine now because of his experience in jail, prison, or wherever he was and all that, y'all. But he was like, look, I'm just trying to pay half my rent and maintain, because he was about art as well. So that's why they get along so well. But yeah, they had a really good conversation, and I'm here for it. I'm glad he's back. Y'all, that man be doing so many different things. He's on various TV shows and movies and stuff. But yeah. So Kalinda rolled up on Nola while she was at the house. She was out on her stoop, and she was just sketching. She was finishing up or continuing to sketch what she was sketching in the first episode that we saw, which was her girlfriend naked laying on a bed. So she rolled up, and she was like, you know, I came right over like I told you I would. So then they're talking, and she was like, you know, have you heard of some service? I cannot really tell what she's saying, so I don't want to say what the name of it is, but it's some sort of music streaming service or something like that. So she asked her if she knew about it, and it's about art and all that. And so she's trying to get her own, and since her art gallery stuff went so well the last time, and that was like a one-time thing, she's like, maybe you can do this. And so basically it seems like a situation where her art would be on display like on side of a bus for a limited time. And so when she realized that, she was like, look, I don't want my stuff to be on there, be out there like a limited amount of time ad, or like a can that's a limited time type of situation. And so, you know, they had to talk about that, and then she was like, look, I have to think about it. Look here, y'all. I get my life. I don't know why Fat Joe be giving me my life. So Fat Joe is in here as usual, y'all. Like, they have him like a little bit more regular than they did the first season, from what I can tell, because he's been in the first episode and now the second. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see you, Fat Joe. So anyway, Fat Joe is sitting outside of a clinic or somewhere like that, a pharmacy, and he playing his little music or whatever. And so this girl come outside, y'all. I can't think of what her name is right now, but she's the woman who, if y'all saw before, she got the illegal butt injections done, and one day she was dancing at the little club, and she fell backwards and exploded her whole behind. Like, it went everywhere on everybody in Samoa because it was disgusting. But apparently she's still trying to recover. And as y'all saw before, this is 18 months after the first season, you know, after everything that happened in the first season. So this is a little bit over a year. This girl still walking a certain way, and she's still on antibiotics, trying to get her body right. So they're in the car talking. Y'all, I don't know why, but I live for Fat Joe. I live for him. So anyway, they talking, and the way he talking, I was just like, why is he putting this extra? I don't even know how to describe it. You'll have to see it, because I don't remember him speaking like that. Like, he has a strong accent, but the way he's speaking now, like in this show, it is like making me be like, okay, what is going on? You doing the most. But anyway, he likes her. You could tell that he likes her or whatever. But y'all, he done went so far as to tell old girl, like, ask her, like, when are you gonna come back to the club? And so she looking at him like, how dare you even ask me such a thing? And you know how I am right now anyway, because she has a child. And so he was like, look, I'm not asking you to come back and dance at the club, and I know what your situation is. And when he says situation, he means as far as how she's doing with the healing process, and that she has a child that she has to take care of, and she ain't been able to really work like that. So, y'all, tell me why he done sat up here was talking about, look, I want you to come back, but you ain't got to work. He said he was going to put her on the payroll and she ain't got to work. Tell me why this heifer was like, no. What is you talking about? What is you talking about? Now, my thing is this. I would have been like, okay, for, 6 months to a year or a little while until I was able to really get back on my feet like that. Like, and he like her. I feel like he genuinely likes her. I feel like he ain't gonna be like, you gonna have to toot it up, spread them legs, spread them thighs, and toot it up and do all these other things in order for me to be paying you. I just feel like he genuinely likes her. And since he really, really likes her and wants to see her win, that's why he wants to put her on payroll and all that. So she can actually get back on her feet for real, because he knows that she wants to continue to be independent and all that other stuff. So he just wants to help her. But she ain't here for it right now. And, I think she peeping at the fact that he like her. So I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it for right now. I hope he don't do nothing crazy, but I'm here for it. Lord, Nola's landlord popped up and was like, where the money at though? And so she was like, I'm sorry, I will have it to you as soon as I can. Y'all, the last check bounced. So I would have been looking at her like, girl, you got to start packing up your stuff now, because you done tried me already, so no. But because of what happened before, as we saw in the previous season, she had some grant money to come through. And, she even asked her about that. She was like, you ain't got no more grant money coming through? She was like, no, and I've been working on that. So she talking about she going to have the money to her soon. So she walked off. She ain't been doing like she did the first time. But, I guess she feels like something's going to pop off. But she did tell her, well, maybe you need to go live with your parents. I was like, Lord have mercy. She ain't trying to do that. So Nola popped up at her parents' place talking to them. And her dad was like, well, let me see some of your sketches. And so she was like, at first she had to think about it. She was like, oh no, I ain't been doing nothing but sketching some naked pear trees. And y'all know, like I said, it was her girlfriend. So they're talking and they're telling her about how she needs to be responsible and all this other stuff. So the phone rings and her daddy got up. It's the house phone. Her daddy got up and basically hung it up. And her mama was like, oh, leave that phone alone. I pay that bill. I was like, oh, Lord. Y'all, so anyway, the second time it rang, she got up and she was like, I got it. So she got the phone and she answered it or whatever. And so she had gotten an offer that apparently she couldn't refuse. So she accepted a gig where she was the lead actress in a stage play. And so she was like, at first, because she was like, I've been out of circulation for quite some time. But they was like, don't nobody care about the girl, you everything. Apparently that's what was said on the phone. It was like, girl, you everything. So we still want you. And you know what I'm saying? She's a woman of a certain age, so she might have felt like, y'all don't want nothing to do with me. But they do want her, and so she's excited, and they are celebrating her. She's jumping up and down and everything. I'm here for it. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all know Rockaletta Moss. That woman kills me. She kills me. Oh, gosh. She kills me. You know Rockaletta Moss. You know Rockaletta Moss this or Rockaletta Moss that. She kills me. I be here for her, though. She everything, though. She looks real nice the way she's dressed up and everything, but Nola done sat up here. She already know she done messed up. She over here trying to act like she's above gigs and all that. My thing is, you ain't in a position to be above no gigs right about now, because you ain't got your rent paid. You finna be out in a box, living out of a box right about now. You over here trying to be above gigs. So now she done rolled up on Rockaletta Moss and trying to, you know, act like, hey girl, how you doing? How everything doing? And then she gonna ask her, you know, y'all got any gigs available? You know, I might be a little late applying. And so she was like, girl, lady, everything is filled. She was like, well, maybe if you have any subs that, you know, come down and they're with something and they're sick. She was like, already filled. I'm like, girl, why you so, I don't understand. Girl, and then you ain't with Jamie Overstreet no more. Oh, Lord. Now, that was the money ticket. You ain't with him? You should have been like, sir, get that divorce and you get them, continue to get them checks. That's what I almost want to be like to her, because she was getting all kinds of good money from him. But girl, she just need to stop. Y'all about to get my life in a second. I'm gonna come back and tell y'all why. But anyway, Rockaletta Moss, you know, was like, look, girl, we got a little extra money that we to put to the side for a mural that we trying to get put up. So she was like, if you and some of the kids can get together and come up with a concept and put that up there, then, you know, she'll have some money or whatever for her to use or whatever. So she all in her feelings. She all happy. You see all 32 of them teeth all of a sudden, all 32, honey. And so she sat up there trying to hug Rockaletta Moss. She was like, oh, all right now, all right, y'all. So she's happy about that, and she leaves. So y'all, Rockaletta Moss don't play. Some of the teachers was rolling up late, and she was like, teacher, y'all instructors, y'all late. I was like, oh Lord, not the teachers. Not the teachers. I know you're talking to the students, but she done rolled up on the teachers and told them that they was late. I was like, oh gosh. Okay, y'all. So the reason why I'm tired is before the scene even went out, I started hearing the Shaggy song, and I'm like, why? Why is they playing It Wasn't Me? What happened? What is going on? Y'all, it go to the next scene, and we see Jamie Overstreet. Y'all, I done spoke the man up. Jamie Overstreet is over here screwing his soon-to-be ex-wife, if all goes according to plan. And I'm just like, why is we screwing her? Because you've been done with her. I don't even understand what's going on. Screwing up something terrible. I was like, sir. And then, you know, the song's still playing, and they're showing the, it's morning. They're showing him sitting on the side of the bed next to the nightstand with his wedding ring on and I think that's his wife. That woman looked like it was his wife that he was screwing, but he done took the ring off and he had it on the nightstand. But he looked like he in his feelings, and he just looked like he has this big dilemma going on in his life. But I don't know what's wrong with him. But I told y'all, Lyric is fine in real life. He just fine for no reason. Oh my gosh. So the next scene, come on, right, y'all. A gang of people in the community of Fort Greene are in their feelings because the Amistad group have taken over. They have been taking over stuff. The place where Mars lost his job at, they took that over. A lot of places they've been claiming eminent domain, and people are in their feelings because they looking like you over here messing people up. And Clarenda is actually a part of it too. She's the community. She's the person who kind of reaches out for the community or whatever to try to persuade them that, oh, this is a good idea, basically, in all honesty. But yeah, they ain't here for it. Y'all, tell me why. Tell me why Nola's rent lady was there, and that man was in the middle of talking. She said, reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. And then everybody ended up chanting that. Every time that man tried to say something, then it just turned into a big old chant. Everybody was tired in their spirit. I was like, oh gosh. Listen here, Spike Lee, I'm here for you. You just set it off. You've been setting it off. When it comes to this show and a few other things, I'm here for you. Every now and again, I just be like, you just, But yeah, y'all, he had one of my favorite songs playing in the background of this scene that happened. But anyway, let me get to the scene itself. So, Jamie is outside looking like a whole secret agent. Looking like he about to sneak into somewhere and do something. So he was waiting on his wife to leave their house so that he can go in and get a few clothes. So he's looking through the drawers and he see this Cartier box. And so he looking like, what's going on around here? So he opened the box up. Before he could see what kind of jewelry is in it, the first part you get to, there's a note. And the note says something about somebody cherishing his wife, and his name is Dandy Andy, or that's what he go by. He looking like, what? Y'all, so then he looks to see what the necklace look like, and I was like, oh Lord, this man has said it all. It's a nice little necklace. So he just looking like he in his feelings, and I'm like, be done with her. Like she's supposed to be been done with you. Like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that song, it's a Marvin Gaye song. I think it actually is called Trouble Man. But yeah, I live for it. That song is everything. Marvin Gaye was everything. I hate how everything happened with him, y'all. But anyway. Okay, y'all. So Nola was supposed to go and pick up Skylar from school, right? She's doing summer school at the private school. So everything's connected. As far as when Jamie's wife left the house, she was going to pick her son up from school. And they go to the same school, and Skylar and the little boy are friends, y'all. So they both are standing there talking, and then Nola appears and Jamie's son's mother appears to get their son. And, you know, they kind of greeted each other, and then it went left because the mama was looking like, wait a minute, she looked familiar. So she was like, I know she ain't who I think she is, to herself, right? Then she go look something up. She looked the painting up that we saw that was painted of her last season. And y'all, I think that was when Jamie bought the painting for like $10,000 so that she could have, you know, funding, because, you know, she stayed not having money. But anyway, she was like, excuse me. So she was like, are you talking to me? And so she was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, let's get out of the kid's earshot. So she pulled over to the side and was like, what are you doing here? Like, she done went all the way off, and Nola don't know who in the world she is. And so she introduced herself, and then when she heard that last name Overstreet, she was just like, oh. That woman read her for filth, told her, y'all, I ain't finna get into it, but she was talking about how she gives blowjobs for a living, and apparently she gave one for each dollar that she was gonna get of that $10,000. Read Nola for filth. I was like, then she was like, if I was in front of a brownstone or at a public school, I would give you a brownstone beat down or something, she said. But apparently, since she's in front of that particular type of school, she was just like, I'm not even gonna go there with you. And so Nola was like, I'm from Fort Greene, and she basically was like, I will beat you down. She was like, don't get it twisted, I'm from Fort Greene. I was like, oh, okay. See, I don't know what all that means because I'm not familiar with New York at all. So yeah. But yeah, they both was basically letting each other know I would beat you down too. And then the woman ended up telling Nola, I better not ever see you around here again, and all this other stuff. I'm looking like, what? Who are you to tell somebody that they can't be somewhere? And I mean, she was like, you over here trying to wreck more homes. And so, y'all, it was just a lot that happened within that scene. And even when they departed ways, the mama sat up there and asked her son, has she been up there before and all this other stuff? And he was like, no. I mean, she done yanked the boy and some more. So I was like, Lord, this is too much. So to make a long story short, Mars' sister got evicted, and she came home from wherever she was at, had the notice on the door and the padlock on it, so she can't even get in there to get her stuff. I was just like, oh Lord, y'all was doing the most. So then Mars appeared from out of nowhere, and he was like, what's going on? And he saw the eviction notice, and he was trying to figure out how that was possible because they should have gotten the last payment. And apparently something's going on where they mama live overseas. Where she live in Puerto Rico or somewhere, I don't know. But I don't know if she was gonna send some money or who was gonna send some money, but apparently Housing Authority didn't get the money, and they are evicted. And I don't know where the sister gonna go. You know, Mars is living with Nola for now. So, I don't know. This is crazy. So, she probably about to go to housing authority to figure out what's going on. So, anyway, Nola is walking and talking with her girlfriend and her girlfriend's daughter, Skylar. And then her daughter, all of a sudden, is in pain. And then she cussed because she fiddling with her ear. And so her mama was like, what did you say? And Nola was like, what's wrong? And so they see what's wrong. Apparently Nola was in her feelings earlier in the week, and she took the girl to get her ear pierced, and so she done took the piercing out, so it probably got infected. And so her mama just set it off like she always do, and then she tried to run off, and then Nola had to tell her mama, like, let her go. I put, tracking on her phone, so, And so she was like, oh, so you trying to act all like you a parent now or whatever. Y'all, I can't. It's too much. So, y'all, just as I thought was going to happen, given the title of this actual episode, which is Coney Island is the end of the line, Nola and Opal got into it at Coney Island. And Opal is just fed up with everything dealing with Nola. Every time you look up, Nola in her feelings about everything. She doesn't take things seriously. And I mean, my thing is this, she's been the same way. But anyway, y'all, they got into a big argument. Coney Island is Nola's happy place. And so she told her this is over. And she was like, no. She was like, nah, this has to be it. I'm done. It's over. I got to do what I got to do for my child. And so she was like, you try to make it seem like you're always right. And Oprah was like, I am always right. And I have to always be right for my daughter, and walked off from her. And it was crazy, y'all. She was like, really? You just gonna walk away from me? And you talking about I'm not the one who's being I'm the one being a child, but you're walking away from me. Y'all, their relationship is over. She's in her feelings. And so she ended up eventually going and getting on the Wonder Wheel, Ferris wheel ride, and she was on there and she was crying. Y'all, am I blind, or did I see like patch of hair up under her arm? Like she got hairy pits. I don't know. But anyway, I was like, what is going on over here? But yeah, y'all, their relationship is over with and done. So she and her feelings, we gonna see how long that lasts. I feel like her and Mars and everybody else about to start screwing something terrible for her to get her feelings out and some more. But we'll see. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this episode and anything interesting that y'all noticed that I ain't discussed or whatever. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all and talk to y'all later. Bye.